Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Nursing homes and other care facilities will be among the first to get the COVID vaccine, but not everyone wants to be first, and that's presenting a unique challenge. Jamie.
Will the football playoffs conclude here at Ford Field with the championship? Will winter sports even begin? We're talking high school sports and the latest with the MHSAA.
All right, Jamie, and a parent's quest for answers about a school board decision leads to a case of sticker shock. We've done quite a few stories on water or electric bills that suddenly shot through the roof. It's usually a mistake of some kind.
But this time it was no mistake. A curious parent went looking for some school board records and received the bill of a lifetime, 6 figures large. Local 4's Rod Maloney has a story from Plymouth.
We at Local 4 News are well acquainted with the Freedom of Information Act. We fill out forms for local governments and police agencies all the time. Sometimes they come back asking for money, charging for the amount of time and effort and energy that went into getting the documents together. Sometimes the fees can be a little bit, sometimes they can be a lot. But in this case, a lot takes on a whole new meaning. Plymouth Canton Community Schools, like so many across Metro Detroit, opted for full online education. Parent Tom Pirelli is not a fan, so he filed this FOIA request looking for specific documents the school board depended on.
So I wanted to know why the decision was made, what science and what facts were used and are continuing to be used.
Imagine his surprise getting this letter from the district essentially suggesting taking out a mortgage. The cost of Plymouth Canton School District records is a whopping $222,458.50 and requires paying half of that up front.
I don't have $250,000. I checked the lotto numbers and I still have not come through on that. Which was kind of my next best deal.
We received this statement this afternoon, quote, Plymouth Canton Community Schools takes every Freedom of Information request it receives seriously. In this particular matter, the request captured an extremely broad range of potential keyword searches and covered an unbound time frame. These features combine to indicate that the district would likely be required to review and redact literally thousands upon thousands of potentially responsive documents, end quote.
They're mad at me because I'm not a fan, I'm a critic. That's fine. Give me the documents to show me that I'm wrong, to shut me up.
One of the things that can happen with the Freedom of Information request is you can amend the request and make it a little less broad so that they can find fewer documents and have a lesser charge. Tom says he's willing to do that, but he also says he's willing to take this to a judge, which is his legal right, if in fact it comes to that. In Plymouth, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod. Smoke and flames fill the air during a fire at a Monroe County marina. Sky 4 over the scene this morning at the Toledo Beach Marina in LaSalle Township. And look at what was going on. The 3-alarm fire at the boat storage building called in just before 7 this morning. Firefighters were able to get the fire under control, though it took a while. No one was hurt, but we are told hundreds of boats are either damaged or completely destroyed.
Hundreds would be an understatement. I know there's at least 100 gas-powered boats and then a lot of sailboats as well.
I'm a nervous wreck. I mean, it's our family's boat. It's been with us for, 12 years.
Yeah, a lot of people have not been able to get close enough to see what's going on just yet or what's left behind. Fire crews still trying to figure out what started this huge fire. A high-speed police chase that started in Hazel Park ends with a crash in Ferndale. This was this afternoon along 8 Mile. Police say officers tried to make a traffic stop when the driver sped away. He later crashed near the state fairgrounds. No one was injured, and police did arrest the driver at the scene. They are, though, looking for his passenger, who took off and got away.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus in Michigan, as cases are up from yesterday by about 1,500.
State reporting 8,689 new cases of COVID-19. And 81 more people in Michigan have died from the virus. Today, the state health department put out guidance matching the CDC's new recommended quarantine period of 10 days. That's for people who travel or may have been exposed to COVID but do not have symptoms.
Governor Whitmer today put in a request to state lawmakers to approve $300 million in spending. That money would be used to continue Michigan's fight against COVID into next year, including the distribution of vaccines. This request is in addition to the governor's previous ask of $100 million in direct aid to people and businesses hurt by the pandemic. The 3-week pause in high school sports is set to expire next week, meaning fall sports could finish up and winter sports could get going. But what happens if there's another pause? Jamie Edmonds has more from high school coaches on this complicated issue for everyone. Jamie, good evening.
Good evening to you. You know, every player and coach I talked to said they would like to play. Here at Martin Luther King High School, they were 3 wins away from a state title.
To be able to make this run, we were really gelling as a team and starting to get to really become one, and then having to stop, it's hard for the kids.
Coach Tyrone Spencer says since the pause, the team has been holding Zoom calls and watching film, preparing to finish the season. A few days ago, the MHSAA released dates for regionals, semis, and finals. The Crusaders are ready to go now, but another pause just won't work.
It's definitely now or never. I mean, for us, too, if they want to do something in the spring, whoever would be the 2020 champion, great. But for us, we have to move on for 2021.
As for winter sports, wrestling hadn't yet begun. The coach at Catholic Central says the athletes have been working outside in the interim. They feel safe competing this year with some changes.
To minimize events to 4 teams, so therefore you could wrestle up to 3 opponents in one day. At one weight class, which would make your contact tracing and your screening a lot easier.
Hancock is also the dean of students at Catholic Central. He knows safety is paramount. As the wrestling coach, he also knows the mental health of his athletes is also important.
If we went into another pause, I think it would be difficult. Pray for obviously good things to happen and hopefully a downward trend with the virus.
Now, the state health department has made no announcement on an extension of this pause, and right now it's set to expire on December 9th. I talked to the MHSAA today, and they tell me they are proceeding on the premise that they will be allowed to restart next week. If not able to restart, they'll reconvene that council and figure out their next steps. We're live tonight. Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
So, Jamie, before you go, you said the MHSAA put out a schedule in case the pause expires and is not extended, right?
That's correct. So, right, they have to be ready, and they are. Swimming and diving, volleyball, and football would finish their seasons in the next few weeks, and football finals would be at Ford Field without fans after Christmas. So if all goes as planned, that's how it would work, but everything's tentative, Kimberly.
That's right, and we'll just have to see what happens. All right, Jamie, thank you.
Heading into Friday night, it's the start of a calm seasonal weather weekend.
That's right. Andrew's in for Ben. That doesn't mean warm, though,
no,
Andrew.
I didn't say that.
Exactly right. And calm is a word we rarely often hear when it comes to weather, so we got to take advantage of it this weekend especially. We have cloudy skies overhead, a beautiful day we had earlier. And this was when you look at the temperatures. I mean, we were in the middle 40s, 6 degrees above average. 46 was the high today, 40 degrees the average high, far away, of course, from the record of 64. But who's complaining, right? We can just wear our jackets or coats, and we were all set. We still have some temperatures right near 40 degrees or a bit more. Over on the east side at City Airport, we're at 43, while it's already in the 30s in Pontiac and also in Ann Arbor with 39 degrees. Still a good-looking evening if you're doing some shopping this evening, maybe hanging up that last Christmas decoration before heading in for dinner. We're looking at 40 degrees currently. Just be careful on those ladders, of course. Wind chills are running in the 30s, so that's what we need to dress for if we are venturing out this evening. Don't forget your masks as well. We'll talk about how cold it gets tonight because we do dip below freezing, and we'll talk about how far we get above freezing and whether any sunshine comes back before the weekend is over. That and your 7-day forecast coming up.
Okay, Andrew, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. Tonight, there's optimism on Capitol Hill that lawmakers may be close to a deal on a $900 billion COVID relief plan. It includes money for small businesses and unemployment, but no stimulus checks.
There is momentum. There is momentum with the action that the senators and House members in a bipartisan way have taken.
For many, it can't come soon enough, though. Numbers out today show 245,000 jobs were added in November. That's about half of what economists predicted, and by far the lowest number since the recovery began.
As the COVID vaccine moves closer to reality, a campaign of what's being called contextual information is being rolled out.
The goal is to convince some reluctant healthcare workers to get in line for the vaccine when it becomes available. But as Paula Tutman tells us, there are some deep-rooted trust issues.
There is a long and gruesome history of vulnerable and marginalized humans being abused by medical science. The Tuskegee experiment, where black men were enticed, misled, and deliberately untreated for syphilis in an experiment that lasted 40 years until 1972. And then, of course, Jewish children in Vienna who were used as human guinea pigs for measles studies. And then, of course, Auschwitz. Who can forget what happened in Auschwitz? Now let's go to current history. And then there's this seemingly deliberate campaign of misinformation and, of course, ridiculous social media that spreads all kinds of misinformation. And you can understand why there are so many people out there who are unwilling to even consider taking this vaccine, particularly since it's only been in development for less than 9 months. The state of Michigan reports that across the state as of December 1st, 45 care center staffers have died from COVID-19. Another 11,844 have been affected by COVID. 3,344 patients have died in long-term care facilities, and some 15,608 have been infected, and the numbers keep going up.
We are really working to educate our team members on the aspects of the vaccine that we know about, and then to take apart some of the misinformation that they may have heard about the vaccine.
While there are former presidents ready to roll up their sleeves to receive the COVID-19 vaccine when it is released, not everyone is gung-ho. Administrators of some nursing homes say they will have some heavy lifting to do with some of their workers.
Some of it is just past history with vaccines and their fear that it's not going to work, it's not going to be effective. Other things that I've heard is there's a microchip in the vaccine. And it's like, there's no microchip in the vaccine.
It is something Michigan's elected leaders are aware of.
That mistrust is earned. Like, the Tuskegee experiment happened. And so as a black man, it's very important to me that people are able to have their questions answered and concerns allayed. So the task force is putting together a plan working with, across state government and also with partner institutions to make sure that people have a place to go to get these questions answered.
And so it's not enough for experts to agree the vaccines are safe without first proving to people that they can trust the experts. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
A comfort food that's distinctly Detroit can now be sent to people anywhere in the country.
Even to yourself. The new option involving Buddy's Pizza coming up just ahead. Also, parents may feel like they're running out of ideas to help their children deal with pandemic disappointment. We've got expert advice for getting through the holidays and beyond. Next.